Yeah, welcome back to the firehouse for some more firehouse reasoning. Tonight, before I start firing, I would just like to mention two emails that I received from Jamie and Rastabas, I think the brethren's car. You know, well, I don't answer emails immediately when I get them, simply because I haven't got a computer. You see what I mean? It's and while we're on the subject of thanking those who send in an email, I should also let you know that me having a website is a kind of a miracle, I think, because I don't know anything about the computer or even how it works. You know, well, I do know a little bit if I should get on one, but it so happens that it was my friend Marius who set this website up, and believe it or not, Marius is all the way from Poland, and it was how we meet was another one of those life coincidences as well. You know what I mean? Because I've been trying a long time, through speaking on the street, through trying to write a book, to making audio tapes, but you know, nothing ever happened anywhere. And then one day Marius come along and he's reading a book, you know, because when we reason in the firehouse here, he always come along since when he get introduced, and he was always reading this book. And then he say one day, you know, other people should hear what you have to say. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to set a website up. And then he went away and worked vigorously, and after a while he did. And he was so enthusiastic that he couldn't even wait. He went and copied the book with all the mistakes and put it up on the website. You know what I mean? So that's how come I come to have a website. And then eventually when I did ask Marius, he says, oh, how did you learn to do this website business? He said, I never know how to do it. I just look it up on the computer. He knew about computer, but he never knew how to set up a website. So you see, it's a bit of a miracle. So I haven't got a computer. So when anyone send me an email, it might take a while for me to answer. You know what I mean? But for anyone who watch the firehouse and who feel like they would like to send an email to the fire, thank you very much, and you are now a member of the firehouse, and it is your job to spread the firehouse all over the internet, all over the corner of the world, because all you will be doing is spreading the truth, because the truth is what we spit in firehouse. Well, I shouldn't say, I always say we. Yeah, maybe I should say we, me and God. But in other words, I should say I spit it in firehouse, then the truth. Well, now that we've cleared up that matter, thanking everyone who sent, like I say, Russ, Tabas and Jamie for the email, we can move on to tonight's subject in firehouse, which will, I think we'll have a look at Mr. Lie. Yeah, Mr. Liar. If you want Mrs. Liar. And nowadays they have a lot of the youngsters are starting to wear hoodies, you know. So we're not only going to look at Mr. Lie, but also Mr. Falsehood, if you know what I mean. Now the purpose of Mr. Lie, you know Mr. Lie anyway. I don't know if you know him, but there's nothing straight about him. You know, he's a blatant liar. And then his accomplice, Mr. Falsehood, now he's a bit more, like we say, under the hood. You know what I mean? But the two of them in combination, Mr. Liar and Mr. Falsehood now, they have caused a lot of confusion on this planet. You know what I mean? They are what you would call clever fellas. They are the masters of camouflage. I always I like to say they are the master of deceit. You know? You know, lies. That's what they are. And it's no use, you ain't going to find your way through this world until you know these and you can identify them. You know what I mean? Because if you can't, they will have you what I call in a twirl, in a spin. You know what I mean? Because they have a very wide range. Mr. Liar and Mr. Falsehood. You know what I mean? And I think you find that Mr. Liar is a man who is operating in all the fields of life. Him and his brethren falsehood. You know what I mean? Some places it's obvious to spot him that he's at work. You know what I mean? Some people can identify him when he's obvious. Say, oh, that man is a liar, and know him to be a liar. But it's harder to spot falsehood though. Falsehood is a lot more camouflage. You know, and a lot more. It's not as crude as Mr. Liar. You know, Mr. Liar is a bit more deliberate in his movements, but falsehood is a lot more harder to spot. But believe it or not, these two has managed to capture the world. You know, this world should have been an honest world. Decent world, not a world dominated by falsehood and lies. But that's exactly how it's turned out. Falsehood and lies has captured the world. You know what I mean? So that means if that is what has happened then, and we've accepted the fact that the planet is being run by Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar, then we have to examine the root of their lies. And believe it or not, everything about them is lie. You know what I mean? So that means, like I'm telling you, the religious system, political system, whatever system it is that you see in front of your eyes running, is run on the basis of Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Lie. They are at the axis then. They are the motor of all that you see happening here on earth presently. You know what I mean? So, like I'm telling you, I even mentioned in the last reasoning, the whole education system has been based on falsehood and lie. I know that one is hard for you to swallow. You know what I mean? Because obviously, you know, I like to say gullible beings like to swallow up everything that falsehood and Mr. Lie present to him. There is never no willingness to question Mr. Falsehood as to where did he get all these laws that he's on about? Where did his democracy come from, as he's saying it? You know what I mean? Where his theology, his metaphysics and his philosophies, you know, all his high teachings that he's telling you about. You know, no one really questions him. Everyone accepts whatever he says. Because at the end of the day, the law here was set up by Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar. And even in this present time, very few people can see this. Even when Mr. Liar and Mr. Falsehood is busily, I think, every second they're making an amendment to the law. And of course you would have to make an amendment to a law which is false. You know what I mean? A true law, there is no amendment, like I'm telling you, to the true law. No need to. You know, it's been running from the beginning. And still there is no amendment in that law. amendment goes on in the laws of falsehood. It's like a leaking roof. And whenever you put a patch over the leak, it starts leaking somewhere else. And that leak, no matter what Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar do, it will never stop leaking. Because a lie is not a truth. A society based on lies is not truthful, innit? A planet then, because we're not going to say, I don't want just because we're in England you think, oh, why you say our society is based on lie? No, I deal with things galactically, I say, internationally. Earth is only a little planet in the universe, you know, the billions. It's just a little planet here. So I'm saying, and this little planet, it is a planet run by Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar. It's irrelevant whether they want to call themselves democratic or communist, whatever ism. It's still based on lies, falsehood, deception, cheat. Not honesty and truthfulness. It is not based on the development of the soul, is it? Mr. Liar don't know anything about such matters. Because if he did, he'll be dealing with the truth. You see what I mean? Mr. Liar is on a different mission. There's only two roads in life, you know, like the truth and the lie. So the positive and the negative. You see what I mean? And Mr. Liar, once you are on that road, you don't know nothing about this road, do you? You can't. Because for you to know about this road, you have to stop your lying. And those Mr. Liar, no. Don't forget, you know, Mr. Liar exists in all manner of life. But the main liar that we're talking about here now is the man who set the agenda. The liar who set the agenda. I'm not talking about your common man in the street. You know, your common liar. He's not as dangerous. His ways can easily be fixed. But I am on about the chief liars, those who set the agenda. You know what I mean when I say those who set the agenda? The governments in whatever country you might find them. You know what I mean? Those are dangerous liars. You know what I mean? These are the liars that are corrupting the soul of other human beings. Because these are the liars who are making the laws. These are the liars who are deciding what is going to be taught to you. What lies are going to be taught to you in school. You know? What lies they shall gobble you up in history and, you know. Of course, at the same time, you know, Mr. Liar have to, Mr. Liar is that's why I'm saying this is where falsehood come in now. Because even Mr. Liar know the tricks or know the rules of life. That if when you are going to con somebody, you can't just go to them and say, I'm going to con you. You know? You have to give them a good story. So yes, of course he's going to teach you a little bit of what is right. Oh? Nothing wrong with learning chemistry and all that. And, you know? Those are good things to learn. Yeah, but he ain't going to, with that as well, he's going to teach you a bit of the lie. So that you will not see the whole picture, you know what I mean? He ain't going to tell you the whole story. That means liars don't reveal the truth, do they? They conceal the truth. If I was a liar, when I deal with people, why would I want to tell them the truth? Liars don't tell the truth. Liars conceal the truth. So if anyone cannot see in this time that their government, well, you can see it anyway, they have secret acts that's concealing the truth. Just the other day, the Roman Catholic in the Vatican there. I don't know what the fellow was trying to reveal, but he get 18 months. So they're concealing the truth. So why would they, if the Vatican, which is, it says God right hand, man on earth, the Pope, if he's not transparent, why is he concealing anything then? Why is the Vatican not open so that people can go in and look at all the artifacts that they got in there and read all the notes going back centuries, every single thing that they've got? Nothing should be hidden there, but things are hidden. You know, truthful people don't have things hidden. You have things hidden when you are a liar. Liar conceal things. So any institution in this time now that is concealing anything, you know that they are liars. And it shouldn't be hard to see liars now. They're everywhere, because liars, it is that is ruling over you. You know what I mean? And Mr. Falsehood. Like I said, Mr. Falsehood, don't forget, you know, Mr. Falsehood is well concealed, you know, very polite, and you wouldn't actually believe that he's dealing in falsehood. In fact, Mr. Falsehood is more dangerous than the liar. Yeah, a bit like how wicked and evil operate. Wicked is obvious. You know, he just wicked, just go and chop a man up or shot him. Wicked man. But evil now would never do that. No, he's the boss of wicked. He might send wicked to carry out his work, but he don't do that. Because he's more, you know what I mean? So that's how falsehood is. Falsehood got a nice, know how to be polite, know how to look charming, how to speak eloquently about his falsehood, if you know what I mean. Falsehood is somebody who look very nice, and if he was a person, very nice and attractive, you know, like a beautiful woman. That physically that is. But when you penetrate beyond her beauty, you find out that she was empty. That's how falsehood is, you know, full of crap. But yet it presents itself as eloquence and, you know. So they are all these things that they are showing you now, you know what I mean? As what they call eloquence and the arts and all these heights of things. All that is just falsehood showing off. You know what I mean? And feeding falsehood have a way of what I call flattering. The egos of beings. You know, say like beings have certain talents, so if they should show it, falsehood have a way of flattering them quickly, so that they might turn into egoists instead of full human beings still possessing the same talent. You know what I mean? But as soon as they saw any sign of being good at whatever they do, falsehood tell them a lot of falsehood. Flatter them and tell them that they are stars and that they are exceptional and that they are geniuses, you know what I mean, and that they stand out from the rest, you know, and that they are special. And before you know it, they swallow up all these falsehood, puffing themselves up and thinking to themselves now that they are special, you know what I mean, because that's the whole aim of Mr. Falsehood and the lie anyway, is to lead one not on the straight path but on the narrow and confusing one, where you will definitely lose your way. You know, it's like a set of going to London, but Falsehood tell you to take a left when you should have carry on straight, you know, straight all the way. But you know, Falsehood come and say, no man, there is a shortcut, you know, take a left here, and before you know it, you don't know where you are or even how to get back to where you was, you know what I mean? Or you're not even interested, because Falsehood start to show you a lot of it. Say, yeah man, forget about London man, look at these things here man, very nice, telling you lie, you know. make up history and give it to you and say, yes, man, we did that and all that. You see, so falsehood play a major part in life. That's why I'm saying, coming back even up to this modern time here now. It is falsehood why you don't see the achievement of the black man. I won't even say Egypt, all over Africa, because I don't even bother with Egypt. I'm a man from Congo. What has intelligence? You must think intelligence was only just residing down in Egypt. Anywhere man is, that the intelligence is God in it, and God is in man. So wherever man was, even if he was just alone, you must think that a man had to build a big building to achieve anything on this earth. Knowing yourself is the greatest achievement greater than building any big building or any monuments. So if a man was living in the bush anywhere, doesn't matter where, and he make a connection with the one, yeah, well, that was it. You know what I mean? You must think that intelligence is for the privilege of a certain people. You know what I mean? But that's how falsehood make it out to be anyway. Because like I say, falsehood ain't going to tell the people them that, listen man, the first set of people that was living in what you would call Egypt, what the man them call Kemet, is black people, and they build these buildings here. And then after a while people get jealous and start to invade the place, you know, and others move in and start to make themselves Pharaoh. And the basis though, because it wasn't them who brought Pharaohship into Egypt, was it? They never brought it to the African. They come in to copy that and to make themselves want it to be like that. But no, Mr. Falsehood now has gone to every lens. I think he's gone down all Egypt there and smash up any one of the images that come close to looking like say, yes man, this was a definite African here. Chip out the nose off the Sphinx and all them kind of thing. Why are you going to all that lens anyway? To prove that I am not an equal man, or like you say, the African is some savage man. If the African was a savage man, like you are trying to say, Mr. Liar, whose fault would that be? Like I say, that would be God in it. So we could say as African to God, God, what kind of God you is anyway? You mean you let us manifest here without intelligence and yet give intelligence to others? Nah man, we couldn't deal with a God like that. But we know that nothing like that never happened. But falsehood can make it seem like that. And lie, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what has been going on. People have been taught by not Mr. Truthful and Mr. Honesty, but by Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar. If you think I'm joking, man, just study your history. See who's been teaching it. Just pure falsehood and lie. What they would call a distortion of history. Of course, Mr. Falsehood had to change things around if he was going to get things his way. And no one in the sane, don't tell me any human now, in the sane mind could actually believe in this time that, yeah, these men who are running the earth are honest. Can't you see that they're liars? You think they just start the lie now? This lie has been handed down to them, and they, like I say, like add a mansion to the lie. Build on upstairs to the lie. Carry on the lie. Because the lie and the falsehood suit them very well. You know what I mean? Because it is lies and falsehood that keep your soul in ignorance, not truthfulness. Can you imagine truthfulness keeping people in ignorance? How could you use the truth to keep people in ignorance? The truth is a thing that free people. So if you find humans around the world now are still in ignorance, what do you think keep them in ignorance if it's not falsehood and Mr. Liar? I am telling you, I've seen Mr. Falsehood moving about in his hoodie, hoodwinking people everywhere, and people worshipping him and saying, oh, what a good Mr. Hoodie. You know, what a Mr. Falsehood, man. People worship him, and all he does is tell falsehood and lies. Him and his friend. And yet we believe in, we go to the universities of falsehood. Mr. Falsehood got colleges and school everywhere. And you see people there flocking to be indoctrinated in the ways of falsehood. You see what I mean? But what I mean is, the falsehood, like I'm telling you, the lie, then, it's not obvious because it is masked by Mr. Falsehood. And Mr. Falsehood is a very clever man. He just make it look to you that whatever it is that he's teaching you and educating you about your history and the world history and everything is perfectly feasible. Carbon dating, whatever I use, and measure the skull and whatever, and fittest of the fittest and whatever I use, and just get you to accept these things. You see what I mean? So now you are convinced that it's only those who can tell the best lie are the most intelligent. Yeah. The world has come to accept Mr. Falsehood as the most intelligent. Mr. Falsehood has convinced them that he's the one now that has really got control of intelligence. And because, like I say, Mr. Falsehood got a way of presentation then, as it was. Like I say, England demonstrated very well, those up in there. They're always well dressed. In fact, they've done it so well that they've exported to the rest of the world. That heads of state in government don't wear traditional African clothes. Maybe a one of them. They are in the suit of the British. Like suit and tie. And maybe all in Pakistan I see them doing them in suit and tie. So they've exported that as well. Presentation. So when people see these Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar, well dressed in his suit and tie, they're not good. They'll never. They trust these people. You see what I mean? And they trust them because Mr. Falsehood know how to present things. And Mr. Falsehood is not going to present things and make it look as if it's bad or it's a falsehood. He's going to make it appear to you as if it's good. See what I mean? But everything is a falsehood and a lie. You see what I mean? So that's how Mr. Falsehood now get to control all what is going on the planet. You see what I mean? Mr. Falsehood will be making all of the guns and all of the dangerous weapons that is on the planet. You know what I mean? And then sending his agent to go to the rest of the world and cause trouble and then sell them the guns. Or at least tell these people, listen, these people need democracy. You know what I mean? So we have to bring them democracy. What they really want is to bring them weapons and guns so that they can, because Mr. Falsehood is not satisfied with his own, what you would call, say, living within his own borders then. Because he already tricked the people and stopped them from living as one, true falsehood and lie. But he's not satisfied. I'd say, okay then, since you divide up the people and tell them that, that's your country, that's your country, that's your country. He's now not satisfied to stay within his country. Oh no, Mr. Liar and Mr. Falsehood set to work now and will tell you that, those people over there, right, they shouldn't be living in that way. They need democracy. You see? So we have to go and give them democracy. But anyone who knows these should know. Well, anyone who knows them know that they're not giving anyone any democracy. Falsehood and liar don't do that. What they give them is hypocrisy. So all they are spreading, it's like, like how you get disease. Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar is a disease, but a disease to the mind. But it's not only a disease to the mind, they are a disease to the physical, because through their lying and falsehood, many souls have to leave the planet. You know what I mean? Before their time was up anyway, because Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar don't joke, you know. They do serious business. Lying is a serious business, you know what I mean? And they have to do whatever they can to maintain the lie at any cost. Doesn't matter about the amount of human being that is going to die to them. In fact, it look like the more human being die, the better it is to them. It look like they get some kind of what we would call kicks out of blood. Like I say, blood sacrifice. Why they should want to persist in this lie. And it's so fascinating as well, because they always, liars are, you have to die out anyway. But like I say, it just automatically get hand down. You must blood your children into this lying and art of falsehood. You know, that everything that you should create a society, like I say, that is a falsehood. But anyway, this falsehood, you know, got to go. Because like I'm saying, falsehood spread right across the planet. It's not like we're going to say, oh, Britain is a bad country. No, falsehood is bad everywhere. So this calls for a cleansing of falsehood. You know, your laws are not going to get fixed. You know, because these laws cannot fix, like I tell you. It's not the correct law, is it? It is the laws of falsehood and Mr. Liar. You know? And those people who you are looking up as international court of justice and all them and European, those are just devils. Hey, as we talk about Europe, I have to touch back on this point again, because I find it so funny. But I don't know if the people are awake, you know. They see a thing and they tell it saying they should take it back. But trust me, Europe is now in the grips of depression. Everyone have to cut back. Everyone has lost so much. People are protesting in Portugal, Spain, Britain here, Italy, you know what I mean, Greece, and all Slovenia, all over some other place. And guess who now? They've awarded the Nobel Peace Prize to Europe. Mr. Liar and Mr. Falsehood. So, who are these people then, you think, who have awarded the Nobel Peace Prize to these goons? Surely these men can't have any inkling of an idea who somebody peaceful is. If they should decide to themselves then that the Nobel Peace Prize should be awarded to the European Union. You know what I mean? For what? Why should the European Union be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize? You tell any sane human being how and what for, what did they do to deserve this honor of being awarded the Nobel Peace Prize? And if anyone, any being, can you imagine the beings when they sit around, right? And they was deciding that they was going to give somebody the Nobel Peace Prize, yeah, for 2012. And they was debating. How could they come up now that, we should give it to the European Union? So you see, these beings who are selecting these Nobel Peace Prize, they are lunatics. Because only lunatics would do this. No one knew President Obama, and yet somebody elected him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Before they come up with this ridiculous idea now that the European Union should be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. But of course you're going to get this when society, like we've been saying, is run by Mr. Liar and Mr. Falsehood. You see what I mean? So all Mr. Liar and Mr. Falsehood is interested in doing is to maintain lies and falsehood. Ain't no way they're going to, like I say, present the truth to you or tell you the truth. Because that would be defeating the object. It would be defeating the game. The whole idea of playing the game is to keep you in ignorance. So why, like I say, if I was Mr. Falsehood, I ain't going to teach you known truth. When, like I say, I take you to my brainwashing institution. But like I say, because Mr. Falsehood is not that, he's not going to be that obvious, like just like wicked is. Evil is not as obvious as wicked. He doesn't come and kill you. So of course he's going to teach you a bit of, like I say, a bit of truth, wrapped with the falsehood. Presentation. Make it seem what he's teaching you is good. But what he's actually teaching you is falsehood. Not the truth. And if you live in 2012, like I say, if you're not dead yet, yeah? And you can put what, like they say, hands on heart, yeah? And think to yourself, oh yeah, around on this planet Earth, the institution of teaching are really teaching people to be honest and truthful. And yes, the way that we live on the planet is, I think, it's an honest way of living, and it is the right way of living. If you can say that, then, well, then you know that you must be well in love with Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar. But if you find that the way that human beings are living is actually wicked and evil, then you'll have no other term but to come to the idea what I'm telling you. That is because you are being ruled over by Mr. Liar and Mr. Falsehood. And that Mr. Liar and Mr. Falsehood spread the wings everywhere. Whether you want to call it your religious system, political system, they control everything. Education system, everything. Life is based on a lie. Nevertheless, a very clever lie, like I'm telling you, because when the lie, at first it was just based on the lie. Until, like I tell you now, falsehood. Just like you see man wearing hoodie now, hoodie. Something like this. Falsehood. Now, when you are under your hood, you camouflage. So, falsehood is a camouflager of the lie. A more smarter fellow, if you know what I mean. You know? So, be careful of Mr. Falsehood. Very, very deceptive fellow. But he is not deceptive enough for the fire. Because the thing with falsehood now, it can only operate in the mind. So he's got limitation to his ability. You see what I mean? But don't forget the mind is a vast region. So he's got a vast region to roam in. So he can easily trick a lot of you still. You see, but because I am a fire now, he's limited to me. Limited. The mind is a limited thing. So he's limited. Anywhere he is in there, I will find him out. I said, drop a bunker bus down him in there. Root out Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar and expose them to the fullest, which is exposing what they've done here on the planet. I'm like I say, only a nut and only those who, like I say, are totally dead, and those who are willing to remain dead cannot see the idiocy of life now as it's been exposed. Because for a long time, Mr. Falsehood had a lot of things covered down under the hood. You see what I mean? He had it under his hood. It wasn't as obvious. But just in the lately here, it looked like his hood is getting blown up. And all this line that he had, that he was covering up, is now been exposed fully. You know what I mean? That, we've been led by falsehood. You know, what you thought was intelligence, the heights of intelligence, that you was just being deceived by falsehood. Falsehood telling you that, this man is great, man, and that man is great, man, because he did that and that. No, that is just falsehood. But falsehood is a man, like I tell you. He likes to give you heroes. Because hero is a diversion. Like role models. That's exactly, two of them is the same. Devised by Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar. keep people permanently on a certain road then. Once they get you on that road, they don't have to watch you. You know what I mean? So if they give you a hearing and they know that you love Jesus, they don't know that you're an idiot. You'll never get out of that. So no problem to Mr. Falsehood after that, innit? You know that you will teach your daughter and your granddaughter and teach everybody, and they in turn will teach their kids. It's a very clever ploy by Mr. Falsehood that he should dress them. If there was a devil, that Jesus would be the devil. But because of the way now Mr. Falsehood has wrapped Jesus like coming up to Christmas time now in a pretty package and give Jesus to you, you think, yes man, this is the Son of God, man. What I'm telling you, boy, Mr. Falsehood, man. Mr. Falsehood will tell a man a lie, man, and I'm Mr. Liar, and have them believe in any kind of nonsense. Really. Only Falsehood could get away with telling somebody something like that, and they gobble it up. And even down in people who wasn't even born, then he's still saying, yes, man, Jesus was born of a virgin. Yes, because Mr. Falsehood has wrapped this idiocy up in such a lovely package for you. You know, people are still crying about the suffering of Jesus on the cross. And then it's so ridiculous, it looked like Jesus was the only man who ever was crucified. I'm sure crucifixion wasn't invented the day Jesus was born. It was good. The Roman was a fucking up man before that on the cross. So what about those men who they crucified before, drive whatever nail all through them? Don't you think those men feel the pain? Or was it only Jesus alone one who feel the pain when he get whatever death he was getting? These people are mad, man. Well, say the Romans crucified the rest a little bit gentler. Yeah. I say, oh, sorry, old chap, we got to put you up on the cross, you know. We'll just tie you there and we won't, you know. No, man, those are the, if there was any, they all die brutal death. But you let Falsehood come in and tell you all this ridiculous story now. Falsehood tell a man, I hear Falsehood telling a man that, what did the liar say again? Yeah, that one some man was running out of Egypt. And they say, whole heap of man. And that Falsehood tell them that there was a man called Moses. And Moses hold up his rod like that and the sea part. That's what Falsehood said, and people believe that. Falsehood tell a man, yeah, man, walk on water, you know. Do walk on. But no one noticed that all the miracle that Falsehood is telling them about, you know. Stop. You don't see them happening nowadays, you know. Like no one in the modern time don't part any sea. Yeah, man are walking on water now, skiing, you know, gliding and surfing, walking on water, yeah, that's happening. But none of the other miracles, they're all set back, cause it's a lie. Falsehood make sure so they set in a time when no one wasn't even alive them times, so they can't prove it anyway. That's how Falsehood don't try and set most of his lie back. The religious one a man about, you know. He set most of his other lies in the modern time here, because he's got enough lies, innit? But most of his religious lie where God, because he doesn't know God. So he's got to make God look now like some spectacular thing, miracle. So he set a lot of miracle about 2,000 years ago, which no living being cannot prove now, because they wasn't around. You know, so he's living off that lie. And if I ever hear him telling lie and talk about, yes man, Abraham says this, and Moses and Joseph went to Bethlehem, and every Sunday he's repeating the same lie, you know. Because he doesn't know, it's just a story. It's a lie, he's living lie. And he's been trained as well. Liar take him and Falsehood take him to one of their brainwashing institution, yeah? And tell him a whole tell him a whole heap of lie. Don't bother think it's a joke, as I'm laughing, you know. I'm just laughing because it's funny, and funny is one of my disciples. You know what I mean? We're talking serious talk, trust me, man. So take him, you know, Mr. Lion, Mr. Falsehood, right? The religious man. And tell him a whole heap of lie, you know? Drill him down there. I don't know how long they have them drilling down there, telling them lie. And then after a while, him say, yeah, man, you are a priest, man. And just to flatter the ego, probably give him a red hat, you know? I don't know which congregation they're in there. Probably give him a big stick and say, yeah, man, go on up, man. You know? And then he, you know, just go up there, you know, and repeat falsehood and lie. You know? And swearing that, yeah, man, it's God work, man. And falsehood and lie, give him a collar. And say, yeah, man, you are important, man. You are one of the shepherds, man, of God, man. But they are one of the shepherds, in falsehood and lies. But and a lot of the time they might not even be aware of this. They've been duped, you know what I mean? It's like what people don't understand. If you are fervently, like if you take some mushroom, and if you ever had mushroom bridging, those things can make you hallucinate. So maybe if you are fervently believing in this Virgin Mary or whoever Jesus, maybe, yeah, your mind might show you a glimpse. It's not real though. So I don't know, you know, maybe it's little things like that Mr. Falsehood has seep into society mind. Because like I say now, the society is blanketly false. That's why they say life is an illusion. It's not an illusion. Life is not an illusion. Life is real. But because you have Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar telling lies, that's what makes it appear as if life is an illusion and it's not real. But it is real. But falsehood and liars penetrated the depths of life and has taught pure lies in school, university about history, about humankind, or about whatever, and make one side, like I say, appear, like say the European man appear, you know, as if he is some superior human being. He is not superior, like I tell you. And when I say European man, you know, I don't want any claim. What I call normal human who is not in the 1% take offense. I'm on about the elite man, because he's the one who wants to tell the lie the minute. So it is him now who has made out now that I and I don't have any intelligence. As if he wants to insult, like I'm telling you, the intelligence of the one. Why would the one want to create beings and give some intelligence and don't give some? Are you stupid? Nothing don't go like that, man. But falsehood and lies, this was perpetrated by lies. They got the evidence of these things hidden in the Vatican. If you want to know, go over there and grab the rascal Pope and go in the Vatican and go on the underground vaults, and you will see the evidence. They've got it still. Because, man, writing wasn't invented by them, you know. When they go to Egypt, we had enough library down there, writing about all manner of things, mathematics, philosophy, God, everything. So these people got these things hidden, you know, the importer, either in London Museum, Paris, wherever they got the evidence hidden or in the church. But Mr. Liar and Mr. Falsehood had to play that game because they wanted one side to look like they was savages, and that actually they was the one who had to rescue these savage men and teach them to find a point of civilization. You understand what I mean? So Mr. Falsehood have to make the game play that way, both to the black and the white, like I'm saying. But I'm telling you, the whole of it is based on falsehood and lie. And that's why the whole of it is going to collapse, coming down around his head. So you cannot, the lie has been played for a long time, and the falsehood, it's inhuman what has been taught to people on this planet, isn't it? Wicked, and can continue to be taught by evil, vile, by an evil and vile and wicked system that you accept as the root of your education. But the root of education is falsehood and lies, if you know what I mean. But that, like I say, falsehood and lie can't just come and just deliberately lie to you. It have to present the good. So yeah, a part of the system, you get a little good education, which is so it mix it in with falsehood and lie though. So it give you a partial, not the full. So you might think I'm assaulting education. No, I am not assaulting education. Education is a good thing. But not when it's false. Not when it's a lie. You understand? History is a good thing, but not when it's false and lie. And I'm telling you that Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar has falsified history to suit their agenda. You see what I mean? And their agenda not of carrying out goodness, but of carrying out wickedness. Because it's only wickedness that deal with falsehood and lies, innit? Righteous men do not deal with falsehood and lies. Understand? Righteous men deal with the truth. Try and understand the nature of life, the reason of it. Explore these things. What is the point of sitting around telling a lot of lies? Unless you're an half lunatic. You are self-possessed with erratic domination of temporary things, I say. Things that you have to leave. That means you must be half deluded. Those who want to control and rule the planet Earth. But falsehood and Mr. Liar do. You know what I mean? So those who are going to escape the grip of falsehood and lie have to re-examine, what has been taught to them. It was Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar that get you to be patriotic. Having you pay allegiance to a flag. You see what I mean? That is stupidity. Falsehood and lie never get anybody to be to pay allegiance to anything that is truthful and honest, and anything that is good for the soul. So if they tell you to be patriotic because of where you was born, you know it's a lie. It's not a good thing. That doesn't mean that you must love where you was born or the country you born into. It just means that you must not be patriotic, because where you was born is a part of a whole thing. But they've got you now just to love your part. Separate you, put you into a box. True falsehood and lie. Not true honesty and truthfulness. True falsehood and lie. Master of deception. If you know, those two are twins. They look alike, but they're not the same. But you can't distinguish them either. I say that's why they're twins, falsehood and lie. But I can distinguish them. I know which one is the falsehood. The one wearing the hoodie. You know what I mean? He's the one that I'm after, the one wearing the hoodie. But I say they hoodwink you. Yeah, he'll hoodwink you, this one. So you have to make sure you get him. You know what I mean? Mr. Falsehood, and must have his wife as well, Mrs. Falsehood. It is Mr. Falsehood, right, and Mr. Lie that have brought humanity to the position that you can witness here on earth. Do you like what you witness here on earth? Yeah. That's a question again. Is life rosy for you here? You know, is it tranquil? Do you feel relaxed? I don't even think the animals, not even, no one here, even the stones must feel the anxiety that falsehood and liars brought. Even the waters feel it. They have pain, there must be. Mr. Falsehood and liars done so much to them through lying and falsehood. He's done so much harm to the trees through his lying and falsehood, to the animal kingdom. Kill so many other of his fellow human beings through falsehood, and everything that he is doing is based on falsehood and lie. And even today I was watching a program and I see Mr. Liar and Mr. Falsehood in the Amazon. You know? say the building dam and thing, to the detriment of the indigenous Indian. And Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar was there going and said, no, it's a benefit, man. Don't worry yourself, man. Benefit to you, man. We always bring... Nothing is benefit to these people apart from what the benefit is going to be Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar. The only people that benefit in this world are those who are in cooperation with Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar. You know, those who agree with them. Any man who is not with Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar, he is on the side of destroying Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar, of getting rid of them. Because Mr. Falsehood and Mr. Liar is like a disease. Why would you want to be... Once you find out that anyone can get a disease, I'm sure of that, you know, a sickness, a virus. But once you pick this virus up now, that is your job to get rid of this disease. You know, there's ways and means of getting rid of disease. So once you find out that your mind has been infected by falsehood and lies, it is your duty as a human being to remove this. You know what I mean? From out of the system. So that the mind can now return to healthy. You know? But as long as you accept the lies and falsehood, then your mind will be unhealthy. You know what I mean? And like I say, I don't want to die with an unhealthy mind, you know, full of lies and falsehood. Just accept whatever lie and falsehood was taught to me and just eat it up. Some of them are so fat with it, you know. They become gluttonous and falsehood. They are so proud of their ignorance. You know what I mean? They say... Some human beings, like I say, I find them funny. They take pride in the... Some of them are expert at the lie that they've been told. You know what I mean? They are expert at repeating it. And not knowing that all the time, all what they're repeating is bullshit. Falsehood and lie. No substance in what they're saying. They are expert, but anyone that they're telling you are expert is always expert at falsehood and lie. What is the point of you being an expert on falsehood and lie? Some idiotic thing. No, real anyway. You know? Because like I'm telling you, this world is not run by honesty and truthfulness. The beings that are in the position of what you would call power are not honest men. These are dishonest and lying human beings. You know what I mean? So if they are the one who are in control, it is their money who build the university or whatever, the science lab, whatever it is that their money, because they are the one that running, as done, is dealing with falsehood and lies. You know, making money and whatever it is. But their job, yes, their job is not to speak honesty. Their job is to speak falsehood and lies. So, alright then, why are we going to wind down the reasoning here now? The whole of Europe is based on falsehood. When I say falsehood, I say the whole planet. But it's driven mainly from Europe here then. They are the chief driver of falsehood and lie on the planet. And when I say Europe, I mean Americans. They are European as well. You know, I don't count you as American. You're not American, you're European. If you was to trace back what we... Just like if all the blacks in America was to trace back the roots. They go back about 300 years, they head right back to Africa. Because they're not from America. And the Europeans are not from there. When they chase their roots, they'll either find it here in England, in Wales, Ireland, Scotland, Germany, Spain, those places. So you're not no American. You are an imposter, an invader. Just like the Israeli are not Israeli, they are invaders. And the Canadians are not Canadian, and the Australian. You're European, you've done this through the lie. Mr. Lion, Mr. Falsehood. But anyway, you know that you have to pay for all this lion falsehood, you know what I mean? Ain't going away with nothing, because this is fire time. Know your secret. Your ancestors are down in the dark regions on the other side waiting for you to come, because that's where you're heading. Anyway, it is up to you human beings to open your eyes within this time and run falsehood out of town. Expose falsehood. You know what I mean? It's all around the place, man. All these, you don't have to look far to see them. All your government, all your answer. Falsehood and lie. Anyway, right now, what we're going to do, because we're breaking signal, fire out from the firehouse, see? No more of this falsehood and lie. Fire out and fade out.